Happy Friday. Welcome into Southern Sports Now. I'm Chase Robinson. Glad you are along with us as we've got a great show on the way for you for the next 1 hour. We'll be talking all things sports. We'll go from high school to college to the professionals. As I like to say, from preps to pros, we've got you covered here on Southern Sports Now. And, of course, you can watch us on the East Alabama Now Facebook page, on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. Check us out on Twitter at EAN_sports. East Alabama Now, our host of Southern Sports Now. And, again, you can like, share, comment on Facebook. You can comment on our YouTube feed, all of that rolling right now. So check it out and subscribe to us on YouTube so you can get notified when we go live. And on Facebook as well, hit the like button on our page. And you can join us each and every day, 10 a.m. If you miss part of the show, maybe you got to cut out, you get a phone call or whatever, you can go back and watch what you missed, archived there on Facebook and YouTube as well. So big show today. Coming up at 10:40, we'll talk with Mike Grace of the Press Box Radio Show, syndicated all over the Southeast. He'll join us, talk some college baseball, because it's a big day in college baseball as regionals begin. Tuscaloosa has a regional. Auburn has a regional. We'll talk about those more a little bit later. A lot to dive into. We'll open up our mailbag for the first time on this show. Got a couple questions we'll hit you with, and we'll do that every Friday here on Southern Sports Now. But we'll start out, as we do each and every day, with our top 5 headlines. So let's jump into it here on this Friday. First up, SEC has made a decision, and it's not the decision I thought was going to be, but it could change and probably will. SEC to have an 8-game schedule with no divisions beginning in 2024. Now, this decision came out late yesterday, according to Commissioner Greg Sankey, and this is just for the 2024 season. They will reevaluate as time moves forward to see where we go next, but we'll break this down later in the show. But 8-game schedule as of now. You may be asking, well, what will that look like? We'll talk about it coming up a little bit later. Big news for a local player. Big honor for Hayes Harrison, as he has been named the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Alabama in high school baseball. Each state gets a Player of the Year, similar to like Mr. Football or Mr. Basketball in the other sports. Gatorade Player of the Year honors Hayes Harrison. Big honor there for the Oxford senior, as he was the MVP of the state championship series, and now another big honor for Hayes Harrison as the Gatorade Player of the Year as he gets ready for some college baseball now. So he'll be playing at Northwest Shoals Community College beginning next year. So congratulations to Hayes Harrison. He is enjoying his senior trip right now, but we'll be talking to him coming up next week when he comes back home. But congratulations there to Hayes Harrison. Alabama softball gets it going in the College World Series yesterday. They fall to Tennessee 10-5. It took a little bit for the offense to get going. They were behind to Tennessee. Were able to put up 5 runs thanks to a couple of home runs. Just too little, too late for Alabama softball. And we'll talk more Tide softball in a little bit, but they're still in it. They just moved down into the elimination bracket with the College World Series being double elimination. Tennessee looked good yesterday. Great pitching. Alabama softball offense responded well later on in the game. They will play again later today. NBA fans, you watched closely last night. The Nuggets got the Game 1 win over the Heat, 104-93, as that game happening down in Miami. But we'll see if the Heat can bounce back. But Nuggets get Game 1 of that series. And like we mentioned at the top of the show, college baseball regionals begin today. A lot of local flavor in the regionals. We'll talk about that more again with Mike Grace later on. But this should be a fun weekend as these regional series are going on all across the country there in college baseball. So a lot to cover today. Again, we invite you to be a part of the show on Facebook, on YouTube. You can comment, interact with us there, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So keep it locked in right here on Southern Sports Now. Coming up, we'll talk some travel baseball. The XL Baseball Academy got the summer going. We'll discuss that next. Stay with us here on Southern Sports Now.
Brought all 9 of our teams over there. We wanted to get all.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Southern Sports Now rolling on this Friday morning as we're getting ready to end a short week. Memorial Day on Monday, so a little shorter of a week, but we've had a jam-packed week and a lot to discuss over the last few days, especially with SEC spring meetings going on and all kinds of good stuff. And we've got a lot to get to today, especially in college sports as the Women's College World Series going on. College baseball regionals get started. But also on the baseball front is travel baseball with summer here now as we're in the month of June. A lot of travel baseball going on. Just about every weekend you'll find tournaments. And this past weekend over in Georgia was the PBR State Games there at the beautiful Lake Point complex there. And a lot of fields and a lot of baseball being played. And the XL Baseball Academy was there out of Oxford, brought all of their teams up to Lake Point in Georgia for the state games. Got a chance to see their teams play, and we had a chance to catch up with several guys from XL, but Matthew Maniscalco talked with us about kind of what this weekend was for the XL Baseball Academy.
Brought all 9 of our teams over there. We wanted to get all of them in one centrally located tournament so we could see them, get all our coaches to get acclimated, and for our academy, getting to see all those kids right out the gate, to get to know the kids mainly, but then the coaches to get to know them as well and kind of let them know what XL's all about and kind of what this summer is going to be about as well is huge for us to get it started that way.
You know, these travel tournaments, again, just about every weekend, it's really good baseball. You know, you get these guys who are these aren't just your baseball players out there to play. No, these are ones that want to get better. They want to compete. They want to play at the next level. And so this is some of the best baseball players in the country who are out on these travel teams. XL has a great program, and you see a lot of guys who play at the next level have come through XL and played baseball. And so some of these teams that they put out there this weekend were able to walk away with a championship, including the 14U team. Won the championship, battled several games in the pool play and then a couple of games in the tournament to win it. And one of those guys, Rocco Maniscalco, talked to us about kind of how playing in these tournaments helps them as they get ready for the future.
Everybody else is going to be really well. Like, they're going to be doing really good. But this is going to be good for all of us because we're going to be able to see that, like, you know, that talent, and we're going to be able to win, hopefully.
Like anybody that knows about the game of baseball, there's so much failure. Once you get tested and once it gets hard out there, that's when you can find out who the real ball players are.
Again, you're playing the best of the best talent, and so for these teams to be able to go out and win, that's big. And so congratulations to that 14U team. But you know, with Excel, the cool thing is the chance they have to develop these players. They have the facility there in Oxford. They're able to work one-on-one. But then in these tournaments, they're able to go out and fill these teams. And again, they've had guys go out playing college, playing Major League Baseball, right there from Excel. And it's like a family. You know, they've been doing this since 2003 was their first team. And Judd Edwards, who was on that first team with Excel, went on to play in college and had a great career playing baseball. Talk to us kind of about the expectations they put on the players, and then also this kind of the fact that they're a family. Excel is a family.
We tell people all the time that we keep it tight-knit like a family, and we want to run it like a college program, which means we have high expectations and a high standard for what we expect for our kids and from our parents and families that are involved, and that goes for off the field just as much as on the field. And so we tell kids all the time, if you're wearing an XLE or you've got Excel on your shirt, whether you're on the baseball field or at a high school football game or out on a date on a Saturday night, we expect you to handle your business in a way that would be representative of our program and our standard. And man, we've been so fortunate to have some awesome relationships with families all across this state, and we still get phone calls from guys all the time that played for us 10, 12 years ago that ask, hey man, how are the teams looking this summer? You know, tell me about this kid from our high school, or tell me about that guy that's in pro ball now, and how are they doing? How's their family? And it's just a really, really special relationship that we're able to form with these guys.
Yeah, that's really cool. And in this area, we talked about the Grit Softball Academy yesterday. You got Excel and so many other of these organizations, these facilities that are here to help athletes who want to play at the next level. And so I think that's great that this area is saturated with these organizations. And the fact, like he was saying, you know, they have guys who, whether it's, you know, maybe an Excel alumni wanting to know about these teams and how these guys are doing, like that's special to have these organizations to help guys be able to do that and to get ready to put expectations on them for the guys who do want to play college baseball or play in the big leagues one day. Like they get this training now that's going to help them do that, but they have expectations placed on them now that they will in college, like a college program. So I think that's great with these organizations helping these athletes prepare mentally, physically, to be able to play at the next level with coaches who did do that, with coaches, Matthew Maniscalco, Judd Edwards. These guys have been there, done that, and now they're able to turn around and give back to the community in those ways. Same way with the Grit Softball Academy we talked with yesterday, Carly Olivas, Lex Muncher. They played college softball. They play at high levels, and so they're able to turn around and now help athletes around here. I think that's huge and great for this community that they're able to give back in that way. So we'll be keeping up with what Excel's doing, with what these organizations are doing this summer, and maybe you have some clips, some results from travel ball tournaments. We'd love to for you to pass those along to us. We'll put them out over the air, and you can shoot them to me in an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can send us a direct message on Twitter at @EAN_sports, or shoot us a message there on the East Alabama Now Facebook page. But we would love maybe some highlight clips, some results of the tournaments you guys are competing in this summer. But we'd love to get those out over here on the show. Lots going on in college softball as well as we switch gears over to the Tide, dropping a tough one yesterday to the Tennessee Vols. we said yesterday, Tennessee's won 3 games against Alabama this year. The Tide only able to win 1. So they met up yesterday in Oklahoma City for the College World Series. And it was Tennessee starting out hot. It took Alabama's offense a little bit to get going, but they did, and they did so against a really good Tennessee pitching staff. Patrick Murphy spoke to that after the game. Besides the first inning, which Alabama really got down in that first inning, take away the first inning, offense was not too bad.
One of the best stats was we only had 2 Ks, one by a starter, one by a pinch hitter. And when we faced Miss Rogers up there, I think we had 8 or 9. And only 1 against her this time. So I thought that was a big win. We were putting the ball in play. But it comes back to that first inning again. Just anything there to score a run. And I think, she might get a little tight. They might get a little tight, and it's a different story.
So Alabama still in it. They are in the elimination bracket now. Tennessee will move on. And this is going to be a really good Women's College World Series. And I think Tennessee has just the goodest chance of anybody to maybe win this World Series if they play like they did yesterday. And that was a really, really fun game. So, again, you had Alabama-Tennessee yesterday. You had Oklahoma beating Stanford yesterday. And so also Florida State and Oklahoma State, and then Washington and Utah all battling it out. But you'll have Alabama and Stanford coming up at 7 p.m. tonight on ESPN. And so Alabama's still fighting for a chance in the Women's College World Series. Stanford's a very winnable game for Alabama. I think if you take how they played in innings 4 through 7, Alabama can beat anybody in this field. They just really slow start. Now, Montana Fouts did not play in the game yesterday. They've been using her in relief a lot lately. They didn't turn to her yesterday. They gave her a little bit more time to get healthy, and so I expect her to be out tonight, and especially an elimination game. So hopefully Montana Fouts can get out and get the job done tonight. But very winnable game against Stanford. Stanford is a good softball team, but Alabama definitely has a chance to stay alive tonight. Now, the road's going to be a little bit tougher now for the Tide as they're in the elimination bracket, but they will certainly be fighting for a chance to keep going. Tennessee, Oklahoma is at tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's going to be much must-see softball tomorrow afternoon there in Oklahoma City, as this high-powered Tennessee offense against a really good Oklahoma pitching staff. That should be a great college softball game. And again, they're just one of those will be out of this top bracket, and so that should be fun to watch on the college softball front. We'll talk some SEC football coming up. We will open up the mailbag on the other side of this break as well. Mike Grace joins us at 10:40 to talk college baseball. A lot to get to as we roll on this Friday here on Southern Sports Now. Stick around more.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you this segment of Southern Sports Now. And Ted's not only brings you the best flooring, your flooring options, of course, hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. They've got it all there at Ted's. But now they've added a partnership with Welborn Cabinet. And with this partnership, they now offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes countertops, cabinets, flooring, backsplashes, and tile showers. So they can do it all for you just by going over to Ted's Floors and Beyond. They're locally owned and operated. They're going to help you get what you need, and they're going to get the job done and do it right for you. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. Lifetime warranty on flooring installations. So Ted's Floors and Beyond is the place you need to go for all of your flooring needs. And now, if you need a complete kitchen or bath makeover, would point you in the direction of Ted's Floors and Beyond, located right there on Highway 431 in Anniston. So appreciate Ted's for bringing us this segment of Southern Sports Now. Now, we told you as we get the show rolling, we're going to be adding some new elements, new features, and one of those is the Southern Sports Now mailbag. Every Friday, we're going to open up the mailbag. We're going to let you ask the questions. I'm going to answer them, and you can do that by sending us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, however you want to get the question to us, we'll take it. And we've got a couple questions as we open up the mailbag. We'll do this every Friday on the show, and so we will open it up now. And our first question comes to us from Eli from Anniston, and he asks, how will no divisions in 2024 for the SEC impact the rest of the country? Really good question. As we mentioned earlier, 8-game schedule for the SEC, and they're doing away from divisions. Now, an East Division, West Division in the SEC, the winner of the West, the winner of the East meets up in the SEC Championship at the end of the season. So I think moving forward for the SEC, no divisions will be something that we will see in other conferences as well. Now, a couple of other conferences have already decided that they were going to do this, but I think with the SEC going this route, doing away with the divisions, we're going to see other conferences follow suit. Why? Because the SEC is kind of the standard of conferences. Other conferences don't like to admit that, but they are. The SEC is the top, and so if they do that, other conferences are going to follow suit. I think this is good, one, because we're going to see better football games. We don't have to have an Alabama-Georgia SEC championship or an Auburn-Missouri SEC championship. We could see an Alabama-LSU SEC championship. We could see, a Georgia-Tennessee SEC championship. Two teams from the old East or two teams from the old West could play each other for an SEC championship. So I think we're going to see better football. And I think what it could do for the country is, this is not what the rest of the country wants, but we could see more SEC teams in the college football playoff. especially when it expands to 12 teams. We could see 3 or 4 SEC teams because it's not necessarily a the SEC champion automatically goes, or you lost 2 games in the West, so you're out of it. You're going to be playing, all the rest of the SEC teams. I think it could open the door for more SEC teams in the college football playoff. And because the SEC is the best conference in college football, rightfully so, we see more teams of the SEC in the playoffs. So I think it could have big impacts on the rest of the country. 1, we see other conferences follow suit and do away with divisions. And 2, we'll see more SEC teams in the college football playoff, I think, moving forward in the future. So great question. Thank you for the question, Eli, on college football. John submitted a question to us. John from Jacksonville says, does Charlie Morton have it in him to finish the season strong? Of course, the ace right now for the Braves, Max Fried and Kyle Wright are out. So Charlie Morton's kind of been the guy the Braves have been leading to. He's 37 years old. He's been in baseball for a long time. Does he have it in him to finish strong? I think so, but here's what I think. He doesn't need to be the guy that the number one guy for the rest of the season. He doesn't need to be the guy you're depending on to win every time he trots out on the mound. He can be very consistent. He can be a guy you lean on, but I don't think he can be the guy you kind of put the rotation around, if you will. He needs help. He's, again, been playing for a long time. He's got a lot of veteran leadership on this team, but he can't be your number one guy and sustain that all year long. It's a long baseball season. He's going to need help around him, and I think they're doing a good job of that. Spencer Strider and Bryce Elder especially coming alongside Charlie Morton to help make sure they get that done. But I think he can have a strong finish to the season, but he's not a guy you can just depend on to be your number one for the rest of the year. But I'm looking for a good finish to the season for Charlie Morton if he stays healthy. We saw, of course, in the 2021 World Series, he broke his leg, and the following year, last year, did not have a good season. So as long as he stays healthy and doesn't have to bounce back from some traumatic injury, I do think he has a strong finish to the season. But again, as long as he doesn't have to be that top guy in the rotation. Hopefully Fried and Wright will be back soon, and we'll see kind of more guys step up, a Soroka and a Schuster to kind of come along behind him. But I like Charlie Morton, always have, and definitely like having him in this Braves rotation. So that is a look at the Southern Sports Now mailbag. And again, every Friday we'll do this, and here is how you can submit questions. EANsports23@gmail.com. You can send us a message on Facebook, on the East Alabama Now Facebook page. You can send a direct message to us there on the EAN Sports Twitter @EAN_sports. And those are the ways you can send us a question. You can send us questions all throughout the week. We'll just do the mailbag, though, on Friday. So, hey, maybe you just thought of a question. Go ahead and send it to us, and we'll get those ready for next Friday when we open up that Southern Sports Now mailbag. I do want to talk some SEC football. We talked about it just a second ago with our question from Eli, but the news did drop late yesterday that the SEC is going with that 8-game schedule for 2024. Now, here is kind of the asterisk that goes next to that. I don't think this is going to stay that way because they're going to reevaluate for 2025 and the future moving forward. And what this kind of caveat means of they'll reevaluate is they want to talk to ESPN more to get more money out of the network to be able to have that 9th conference game. And we talked about it yesterday with Brent Beard. Greg Sankey says, hey, we're going to play one more conference game, ESPN. You're our new network. We need more money from you. And so I think that's what they're hung up on right now. You've seen some coaches all 4 and 9 game schedule. You've seen some coaches all 4 and 8 game schedule. Personally, I wanted the 9 game. The way they had it laid out with a 9 game schedule, you're going to get 3 permanent opponents and 6 rotating. With this 8 game schedule, how it looks right now, there's going to be 1 permanent opponent and the rest are going to be rotating. So that brings up the question, what does this do for SEC and rivalry games? This is interesting if there's only one permanent opponent, because obviously you want to keep the Iron Bowl, you want to keep the Egg Bowl, you want to keep some of these other games, Florida, Georgia, you want to keep that one on the schedule. So what does that do for the Deep South's oldest rivalry, Auburn, Georgia? Will we see that every other year? How does that work? Will we see Alabama, Tennessee? How often will we see these rivalries? That's why I thought the 9-game schedule was really good, because we would get these rivalry games and then an extra game. Think about Alabama, LSU. That's a game we love seeing every year. How often will we get to see that? With this 8-game schedule, I would like to see them do 2 permanent opponents, but the way it's kind of trending right now is only 1 permanent opponent. And so I don't like the aspect that we're going to lose some of these rivalries, some of these traditional rivalry games that we see every year. What's your favorite rivalry game? You can drop that in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. What rivalry games would you like to see stick around? And who your permanent opponent for your favorite team you'd like to see? We've seen so many good Florida LSU games. We've seen so many good Georgia-Florida games. We've seen so many good Alabama-Georgia games, Auburn-Georgia, Alabama-Tennessee. All these rivalries, cross-divisional rivalries, we may not see that often. And I think if you ask a lot of older college football fans, they like the Alabama-Tennessee game more than the Iron Bowl, or the Auburn-Georgia game more than the Iron Bowl, because there was a time they didn't play the Iron Bowl. They did play those other games. And so I think a lot of fans are going to be upset if we're not seeing these other traditional rivalry games, the third Saturday in October. But I think they will, with this 8-game schedule, keep the Iron Bowl, keep Georgia, Florida, keep Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and keep some of these rivalries intact, but it's going to make it harder. And again, a lot of this has to do with ESPN and what they want and the games they can make money off of. So it's wild right now to imagine what's going to happen. And then, hey, you throw in Texas, Oklahoma in the mix as well. Everybody's talking about, we want to see a Texas A&M rivalry rekindled, which I think would be a great football game. And Texas, Oklahoma. I mean, there's all kinds of good games that we could see, but with only one permanent opponent, we're not going to be able to see them every year. And so there's a lot that has to be hashed out. They didn't figure all that out this week at the SEC spring meetings. They just decided in 2024 an 8-game schedule. I imagine, and I was wrong on this because I thought 2024 would have a 9-game schedule. I imagine moving forward we'll have a 9-game schedule, because that's what Commissioner Sankey has said all along he wanted. They just didn't have enough information apparently to do that for 2024. But I'm going to go ahead and put my guess out in 2025 and beyond. We'll have a 9-game conference schedule for the SEC. And like we said earlier, even with the no divisions, with a 9-game conference schedule, I think we'll see more SEC teams in the college football playoff, which if you're an SEC fan like I am, that's very good to see more teams in it and to see more SEC teams fighting for a chance to win a national championship. But college football season right around the corner, and if we look at our countdown to college football, we see that there's just 101 days away from the college football season kicking off on September the 1st of 2023. So 101 days away from college football of 2023, and the last season Texas and Oklahoma are not in the SEC. It's going to be a very fun college football season. We can go ahead and mark that down. I'm fired up for college football, and especially after all the talk we've been going on this week. But on June the 2nd, 101 days away from college football. On the high school football front, we are 85 days away from high school football kicking off on August the 24th. Is week 0 for high school football. So teams getting ready to start workouts. Most of them will start workouts next week or the following week, getting ready for 85 days away from week 0 of the high school football season. I'm fired up, ready for some football, and I know you are too. Everybody's favorite sport, college and high school football, and we're going to be talking a lot of that as we move through the summer, getting ready to kick it off. But, of course, college baseball going on as well. The regionals beginning this weekend, beginning today, and we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Mike Grace, he is the host of the Press Box syndicated radio show. He will join us coming up. Stick around as we roll on this Friday edition of Southern Sports Now.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news. New faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Southern Sports Now continues on this Friday morning. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday as we get ready for the weekend. And big weekend, college baseball as regionals get going today, and always fun checking out all the great college baseball, getting ready for the College World Series coming up soon. And some of the best playing this weekend, fighting for a chance to get to Omaha. And we're going to talk about that and more now as we welcome on Mike Grace, host of the Press Box radio show, syndicated all over the Southeast. Mike, always great to talk with you. How are you? Let's see. Don't have any audio on Mike right now. We'll try to work and get that back up. But Mike, can you hear us? Well, we'll work on that and try to get back there in just a second. But again, regionals beginning across college baseball. Of course, we got the Tuscaloosa regional, and we've got the Auburn regional going on in Tuscaloosa. We've got, of course, Troy will be making the trip to Tuscaloosa as well. and Sanford making the trip to Auburn. So that should be a couple of local teams in there as well. Also in Auburn is Southern Miss and Penn. You got Nichols making the trip to Tuscaloosa with Troy there. So should be some really good college baseball coming up. But let's jump to a break right here. We'll work on getting Mike on with us. We'll be back with more Southern Sports Now in just a moment.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. Steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
We're excited to announce that starting this April, we'll be entering into the cabinet business. With that in mind, we're going to change our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond encompasses everything that we do in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. Steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news. New faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
We are back on Southern Sports Now on this Friday. Apologize there for the technical difficulties, trouble connecting there with Mike Grace. And So we will forego that. We'll try to catch up with him at a later time. But you can hear Mike and the guys on the press box all over the Southeast each and every morning from 7 to 9 a.m. as they talk all things sports. And you can follow them on Twitter at PressBoxRadio1. But again, we'll try to catch up with Mike very soon, but appreciate his willingness at least to come on Southern Sports Now with us. Atlanta Braves baseball gets back going tonight. An off night last night, a chance for the guys to travel from Oakland, California to Arizona as the Diamondback series begins tonight for the Braves. And we'll see a guy we talked about a few minutes ago, Charlie Morton, take the mound tonight for the Braves. He's 5-5 on the year. And this is a series that the Braves coming off not a great one in Oakland. And so we'll see how the Braves can head to Arizona and see if they can get something done. But, it could be tough if the offense is not clicking like they were last weekend. On the mound in Arizona tonight is Kelly, who's 6-3 on the year, has had 69 strikeouts. He's very similar to Charlie Morton. And so two pretty good pitchers going at it tonight. So we could see maybe a low-scoring game in this one tonight. But, the Braves are healthy for the most part. Coming off not a great series. Hopefully the offense can bounce back. I'm looking for a guy like Ozzie Albies to keep up what we saw him do 2 nights ago in Oakland. He had the home run. He was pretty consistent. See a guy like Sean Murphy come up big for the Braves. A guy like Matt Olson, who was due for a good night. Didn't really play great in his former home of Oakland, California. But the Braves, offensively, if they're clicking, should be a good night because Charlie Morton has proven to be a good pitcher for the Braves this season and pretty consistent. We'll see if he can do that again tonight, but has, for the most part, had fairly good starts this season, and so we'll see what the Braves can do tonight. It's a late game. They're still out over on the West Coast, and so 8:40 first pitch tonight for the Atlanta Braves. You have to stay up late and watch the guys from Chase Field tonight in Arizona. But the Braves and the Diamondbacks first in the National League West, Braves first in the National League East. So this is two good ball clubs going at it tonight there in Arizona, and a series we don't get to see a lot. We've talked about this before. We haven't seen the Braves and the A's play much. We haven't seen the Braves and the Blue Jays play a lot. And we haven't seen the Braves and the Diamondbacks play much over the last few years. But because of the way the Major League Baseball is scheduling now, we're getting to see games like this. And so that's exciting for the Braves and the Diamondbacks to be able to play again tonight. NBA Finals going on. The Nuggets got win in Game 1 over the Heat. Of course, the Heat kind of the Cinderella story of this NBA season, and 8 seed going into to the playoffs. Got in on the play-in game. Now they're in the NBA Finals. Nuggets got the win last night, but we'll see if the Heat can bounce back. They're in Miami. They'll play again tomorrow night, but 104-93 was the final last night as the Denver Nuggets got the win over the Miami Heat last night. So NBA fans, you got a lot to watch, and college baseball fans, you got a lot to watch. College softball fans, College World Series going on. So we've got a big weekend coming up. And a lot to cover on Monday as we'll recap the big weekend in sports. But certainly a lot going on. And again, we hate we couldn't connect there with Mike Grace. But we'll have plenty to get to coming up next week here on the show. But we're going to get out of here on this Friday. Short week this week with Memorial Day, but we'll be back with you coming up on Monday with more of your favorite sports talk here on Southern Sports Now. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.